So in the midst of all of his legal troubles, Trump is still taking some time to do massive fundraisers with wealthy pricks, but also lay out a clear policy agenda. So NBC News here reports, Trump tells billionaires he'll keep their taxes low at $50 million fundraising gala. Wow. Okay. Former President Donald Trump emphasized the importance of extending his signature tax cuts to some of the nation's wealthiest political donors, according to a readout of his private remarks Saturday night provided by a Trump campaign official. Trump spoke on the need to win back the White House so we can turn our country around, focusing on key issues including unleashing energy production, securing the southern border, reducing inflation, extending the Trump tax cuts, eliminating Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate, protecting Israel, and avoiding global war. By the way, these two are kind of at odds, protecting Israel and avoiding global war. So protect the country doing a genocide to avoid war. Well, genocide is an act of war. And also, what are you going to do? If Iran attacks Israel, are you going to jump in? If Hezbollah attacks Israel, are you going to jump in? Like, what are we talking about here? Totally morally confused, insane. The campaign official said of a roughly 45-minute speech to donors in Palm Beach, Florida, the campaign declined NBC News' request to have a reporter present for his remarks and to make a full transcript of them available. What a shock. So in other words, he wanted to keep his speech to massively wealthy political donors and lobbyists. He wanted to keep that speech quiet. He didn't want the transcript getting out. Sort of reminds me of like the Hillary Goldman Sachs thing. It's like, well, what are you telling this room full of billionaires? I just told you. What you told the room full of billionaires? We got to protect Israel, and we got to cut your taxes. Trump senior advisor Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita said the dinner held at the home of billionaire hedge fund investor John Paulson grossed $50.5 million for a joint fundraising effort benefiting Trump's campaign. Now, by the way, let me pause to ask this question. You guys remember in 2015 and 2016 when he ran and he made a big deal about, I don't need your money, I don't need the billionaires, I don't need the lobbyists, I'm self-funding. Nobody owns me, nobody controls me. These donors, Marco Rubio's in the pocket of a billionaire. I've seen it. Me, I'm not. Well, now look at you. You ain't self-funding Dickie McGeezax. To be clear, he wasn't in 2016 and he wasn't in 2020 either. That was all a show. He just said the words and the rhetoric sounded good, but he was getting money from all these billionaires like any other politician would. Now, it's even above and beyond. You had Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden got together, did a fundraiser at Radio City in New York. They raised like, what, $26 million or something like that. They raised like double what Biden raised, and it was with a bunch of fucking billionaires and hedge fund douchebags at one of their private residences, and the whole reason he was there was to tell them, I'm going to cut your taxes even more. This is corrupt as fuck. I'm going to take on the political establishment by taking a lot of money from the political establishment and doing their bidding. That's what this is. Anyway, let's continue. His Save America Political Action Committee, the Republican National Committee, and state parties were involved with the fundraiser. That's nearly double the $26 million President Joe Biden's campaign said it raised last month at a star-studded Radio City Music Hall gala featuring Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. Biden hit Trump for promising to extend the 2017 tax cuts beyond 2025 when many of the provisions are set to expire. In a video released Saturday, when he thinks the cameras are not on, he tells his rich friends, quote, we're going to give you tax cuts. By the way, that's actually true. There was another video that came out of a speech he did, I think it was at Mar-a-Lago with a bunch of wealthy donors, and he said the same thing. He's like, we're going to cut your taxes. We're going to make sure you got low taxes. And now he's saying it again. So clearly, look, he does the thing that he attacks other politicians for doing all the time, which is like, okay, who's in the room with you? And when you're in this room, say this thing. When you're in that room, say that thing. That's what Trump does. But look, here's the thing. On the policy, I believe him. You never know with him. He'll say some shit and you're like, I don't know if you're actually going to do that or do the opposite when you get in office. One thing he's been phenomenally consistent on, actually two things. Tax cuts for the rich, deregulation. That tax cut bill, which he brags about, 83% of the benefits went to the top 1% over the long run. 83%. And now he's like, well, let's do more of that. That's like the last thing we should ever do. More tax cuts for the rich, more tax cuts for corporations. Like, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So I believe him. He's not at all anti-establishment. He's doing the bidding of billionaires. And this is all while he's also battling off 91 criminal charges. All right, guys. There we have it. That's the show. I love you all very much. Everybody, you know the drill. Click like, click subscribe, Click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. Leave a comment telling me how special I am, telling me how beautiful my face is, how I have a body like Adonis. All that stuff is very welcome. And that's all I got for you guys, man. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.